Hello everybody, welcome to Real Madrid Hub. I am your host Eric Rivera, and this is your spot for all things Real Madrid news on YouTube. Well, a recent article on Diario Madridista was speaking about Filipe Luis, obviously the left back that used to play for Chelsea and also for Atlético Madrid. Well, it's talking about recent statements he made and an interview he had with English newspaper The Guardian about Eden Hazard and his time at Chelsea as well as his time at Atlético Madrid, speaking about Mourinho and Simeone. And he said some pretty, I wouldn't say damning things about Hazard, but things kind of we already knew. But in the interview, Filipe Luis talks a lot about how he believes that besides Neymar, and he rated Eden Hazard as one of the best players he's ever had the chance to play with. But he did say, and I think we've all known this, that he wasn't good in training. 5 minutes before the game, he would play Mario Kart. He would always warm up without tying his shoes. But nobody could ever take the ball away from him. He would say he would go, three or four players would try to take, the ball away from him, and he'd always win. Said Hazard had a lot of talent, but what he lacks is ambition, and kind of that ambition to say to himself, I'm going to be the best player in the world. Because according to Filipe Luis, if he had that ambition and actually had that drive to be the best player in the world, he could definitely do it. So he was actually speaking about that, saying that it's kind of something we've already known about Hazard, in the sense that we've known that he's not that hard, like a hard of a trainer, like the things we've heard of Cristiano, that he puts in, an ungodly amount of work on the training ground in order to get ready for any game that might come his way. We've heard stories about him coming back from games, flying in a plane, coming back from a game that he's just been in another country, coming back and still maybe it's 12 o'clock midnight and he still wants to jump on the training ground and work on something. Hazard is not that guy. And that's kind of something that a lot of us Madridistas wouldn't like to hear, considering the situation he's had with injuries, the situation he's had with form. A lot of that stuff kind of shows us that at the end of the day, as he gets older, that not pushing yourself to stay in shape as you get older will start causing problems, because of the fact that it's going to take you longer to get into full form. It's going to take you longer. It's going to take you more work to stay in shape. That's why we see guys like Sergio Ramos. We see guys like Cristiano Ronaldo. We see, guys like Ibrahimovic that seem to have this amazing, amazing work ethic. Not to say that Eden Hazard doesn't have a good work ethic when it comes to playing the game, but it seems like to him, and he said it before, it's only about, for him, his training is football. For him, the training is being on the pitch, and then he goes home and that's it. Well, if you want to be a player at Real Madrid, which is one of the top teams, if not the top team in the world, and he doesn't want to lose the amount of, support he gets from many Madridistas still, he better start putting in the work, and he better come back to the pitch 100% ready to play and 100% ready to give it his all in training. That's something that's going to have to change in his head. And at this time, when you're 30 years old, it's kind of hard to change, your ways, unless, of course, all these injuries have woken him up. Because if not, it doesn't matter if he goes to Real Madrid, if he leaves Real Madrid and goes to any other team, he's going to find it difficult at any other team at this age to start breaking into a starting 11 if he's consistently getting injured. So these statements by Filipe Luis weren't exactly, something brand new, but it does sort of add more fuel to the fire of why people have been questioning, Eden Hazard and his professionalism and things like that. I still rate Eden Hazard personally. I still rate him very highly. I hope he does well with Real Madrid. But like I said, it's like one of those many things that the chip in his head has to change, where he has to realize, okay, and not saying that Chelsea's a bad team, but that this isn't Chelsea. This is Real Madrid, and so much more is expected from him, because if not, he will lose his space and he will not play. And especially with a coach like Zinedine Zidane or any other coach that comes to Madrid, excellence and professionalism is always expected. So in this case, these kind of little games, if I'm going to play Mario Kart 10 minutes before, we even have a game or whatever, or we have training, then he's never going to reach that. He's never going to reach the level that he needs to be for Real Madrid. So that's the news I have for now, guys. Remember to stay locked here on Real Madrid Hub. Subscribe. Jota Real Madrid is actually going to start putting out quite a few more videos on here. We have a lot of news coming up, so please stay tuned here at Real Madrid Hub. And also check me out on my podcast, Y Nada Más Podcast. And that's it. We'll talk again soon.